This video is brought to you by these YouTube members. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Hello everyone and welcome to the top 10 no affiliation characters as chosen by you guys, the BBS community. Now I do apologize, this video is about 4 days late. I live in Texas and we were one of the ones that lost power for several days. It only just came back today, and even then it's gone out like 3 times today already. So yeah, sorry for the lack of content, but with that said, here are the community chosen top 10 no affiliation characters. Starting off the list is one of the older no affiliation characters, the movie 3 version of Rukia. She has a pretty high SP as well as frenzy and a strong attack recharge link. She also has the ability to inflict debilitating weakening on all of her attacks, and they have pretty decent range. Her strong attack 1 is a lunge move, her strong attack 2 is a beam shot, and her strong attack 3 is a charge move. That doubles in strength when fully charged. It may not be full screen, but it is pretty close. However, if you don't charge it, it's not going to have that great a range. Now while she is an older character, she does still hold up. She has a Soul Reaper killer which comes in handy, and her strong attacks can actually deal some pretty good damage. It has been a while since we've seen any movie character in a banner, but I think the first few should be resurrected this year, so we shouldn't have to wait too much longer. Which is great because I'm sure she's going to get some major upgrades.
俺の中の力の全部これでてめえを倒す行くぜ
Next on the list, we have Quincy Ichigo, a character with a really high SP as well as frenzy. He's also got a boosted strong attack recharge link, and in addition to being no affiliation, he's also got a no affiliation killer. Now this character is very divisive. He's not exactly a fast character. That said, he's really good at taking out bosses. Like I said, he has a high SP and frenzy, but he can also inflict debilitating weakening on all of his attacks, and they're very likely to do it too, since both his strong attack 1 and 2 hit a high number of times, increasing the likelihood of inflicting weakening. His strong attack 1 in particular is also really good at knocking enemies back, and it's one of the best strong attacks to use in Senkaimon. Then we have a strong attack 3 that's a full screen. This Ichigo is also completely immune to being frozen, and he's got an additional flash step, making it easier to dodge enemy specials. Now regardless of how you feel about him, he is a good character. He's just slow. I do kind of wish they would have switched over his affiliation to Quincy, but I understand why they didn't.
簡単には死なせないよさて覚悟をしておくといい生きて恥をさらす覚悟をね
Coming in at number 8, we have Sonosuke, one of the more recent no affiliation characters, and in my opinion, a really good character that personally I would have put higher on this list. That said, it is community choice, so here we go. Sonosuke has a really high SP. He's also got Frenzy, Berserker at 40, Havoc, and Guard Break. This means that his strong attacks are going to hit really wide, and they're always going to do their max amount of damage, since you don't have to worry about breaking guards. And it's an impressively high amount of damage. He does have Berserker at 40. He's also got Bruiser at 40, and it definitely comes in handy, since his normal attack can't be blocked, and it fires really fast. You'll definitely find yourself using it too, since his strong attack 2 is a barrier move that also heals the entire party. This is great as it's one of the best support moves, but it does mean that it's going to take longer to recharge. Still, they decked him out and made him more than prepared for that. In addition to that, it's also a vortex move that gathers enemies in one spot before pushing them back. His other strong attacks also have excellent range, including a beyond full screen strong attack 3, and his special does more damage than the average special, thanks to his devastation being at 60%. Honestly, he's an insanely good hybrid character, as well as an incredible auto and supporter.
行くぜカサタイファー俺から逃げられると思うなよ
At number 7 is the Orient Society version of Kukaku, a character who, personally, I feel needs more variance in this game. This one in particular is really good. This Kukaku has a really high attack, as well as Bruiser at 20%, Flurry, and Poise. In addition to that, she's also got long reach, so her normal attacks are able to reach further. Kukaku can also inflict debilitating burn on all of her attacks, and remember, she has Flurry, so her normal attacks are gonna hit twice, meaning she's more likely to inflict it with them. This Kukaku also has an extra sprinter, so like the Quincy Ichigo we talked about, she's able to avoid enemy specials more easily. Finally, Kukaku also has a damage reduction soul trait of 16% that can be stacked up to 76%, making her really usable in PvP or just an excellent character to take when autoing. More Kukaku, please, K-Lab.
送り知るぜイコメキどもへTokinada様のお役に立ってみせます
Next on the list we have Hikari, specifically the Mind one. This Hikari has a really high SP as well as Frenzy. He can also inflict debilitating weakening on all of his attacks, and they all have really good range too, with his strong attack 1 being a lunge move, his strong attack 2 being a beam shot, and his strong attack 3 being full screen. He can spam this thanks to his strong attack recharge link, and combined with his long stride and additional flash steps, it makes him one of the fastest characters to clear areas with. It also makes it incredibly easy to dodge specials, and it helps with several areas in Senkaimon. Finally, this Hikari is also completely immune to being paralyzed, which is just an added bonus. Honestly, he might be higher on the list if it wasn't for the fact that Guild Quest is now completely different than it used to be, but the long stride flash step combination still comes in handy now, and he's still a really good character.
どんな理由があろうと隊長に剣を向けることは僕が許さない。あかんな。
Next up is a character that has no business being a no affiliation character, but is anyway, the double team version of Gina Nizuru. Now I get why they made this character no affiliation, I just don't agree with it. That said, I am glad they did because he's come in handy as a no affiliation character more than once. Gina Nizuru not only have a really high SP, but also Frenzy and Berserker at 20%. In addition to that, they can deal debilitating poison on all of their strong attacks, and depending on who's in control, debilitating poison or lacerate on their normal attack. This character also has guard break, so all the damage from the strong attacks is going to go to the enemy, and they can spam their strong attacks thanks to the strong attack recharge link. Gina Nizuru also have excellent range with their strong attacks despite not having havoc, with a full screen strong attack 3, a strong attack 2 that encompasses the area in front of them, and a lunge move strong attack 1. But perhaps the best part about this character is the fact that they have 2 killers, a Soul Reaper killer and a Hollow killer, and it makes him useful in a variety of different situations. People weren't crazy about the banner itself when it came out, but they do really like the idea of the double team characters, so I'm hoping it's not the last we see of them, though I do hope that next time they make the banner 3 characters instead of 2.
イコミキどもへ崩落八景全身全霊でお相手します。バカな。
Coming in at number 4 is the powered version of Hikari, who, much like the last one, also has a really high SP, Frenzy, a strong attack recharge link, and an additional sprinter. He can also inflict debilitating weakening on all of his attacks, although this one is much more likely to do so, thanks to his strong attack 2. It's a hybrid vortex move that gathers enemies in one spot and pushes them back. He also has excellent range for his strong attack 1, being a beam shot, and his strong attack 3, while not being your classic full screen, does have the range of one. The great range on his strong attacks is because he has havoc at 20, and it's a decent trade-off for not having long strike. This Hikari also has Berserker at 20%, so his strong attacks are going to deal an additional amount of damage, and if he's up against Technique Soul Reapers, he is very likely to inflict weakening, since he has an ability that greatly increases the probability. To be honest, I still kind of prefer the other one's skill set, just because it's more fun, but this one definitely has a lot more uses, and he deals a lot more damage.
サーベルズ不在のロンドンを守ってがっつり目立ってサーベルズに昇進するんだから。
At number 3 we have Inny, one of the 2 Burn the Witch characters we have so far. Here's hoping for more. Inny has a really high SP as well as Frenzy, Berserker at a ridiculous 60, and Bruiser at 40, meaning that her strong attacks are not only going to deal a massive amount of damage because they hit for 60% more damage before hitting twice, but her normal attacks are also going to be useful, and you're going to be using them too, since her strong attack 2 is a barrier move. Much like Sonosuke, this barrier move is also a hybrid vortex move, and has really great range alongside her strong attacks 1 and 3, thanks in part to her having havoc at 20. Inny's special also packs a punch. It's full screen and has devastation at 60%. She also has the ability to nullify range resistance, meaning you can use her in all sorts of Senkaimons, guild quests, and other difficult events that you wouldn't normally be able to use her in. Finally, this character also has 2 killers, an Anchor killer and a no affiliation killer, expanding even more the areas you can use her in.
あなたの気持ち受け取りました。アブソリュートドラゴンシャッター。
Coming in at number 2 is Noelle, the other Burn the Witch character we have, and one of my favorite characters in this game. Now Noelle packs a punch. She not only has a really high SP, but she's also got Frenzy, Berserker at 60%, and a strong attack damage link of 20%, meaning her strong attacks do 80% more damage before hitting twice. She's also got Bruiser at 40%, so her normal attacks do decent damage as well, but you're very likely not going to get that much of a chance to use them, since while she doesn't have a strong attack recharge link, she does have a strong attack recharge ability, meaning she can still spam her strong attacks. and you're definitely going to be doing that since they all have great range thanks to her Havoc at 20. Her strong attack 3 is beyond full screen, her strong attack 2 is almost the area of a full screen, and her strong attack 1 is a beam shot that decimates anything in front of her. Like Nini, she's also got devastation at 60%, so her special's gonna hit hard, and she also nullifies range resistance. Noelle also has 2 killers, though hers are no affiliation and Soul Reaper, which I would argue is better. She's a great character, useful in almost everything, and if this list wasn't community made, I'd actually put her at number 1.
仕返しすぎて天外まとい万象等しく映し削らん遠羅経典
And finally at number 1, and this was pretty close, is Tokinada. Tokinada has a really high attack as well as flurry and a bruiser at 20%. He's also got a normal attack damage link of 25%, so his normal attack does 45% more damage, and then hits twice. He's also got a strong attack 2 that's a boost move, and he has Enhancer, meaning his attack, defense, and focus increase by 33% for 20 seconds, effectively making him one of the hardest hitting normal attackers in the game. Tokinada also has Guard Break, so you'll never actually have to use a strong attack to break enemy guards. In fact, if you add a Zeta pill, and your attack is high enough, you can pretty much take out any enemy before they get anywhere near you. But wait, there's more, because after Tokinada uses a special, all of his attacks get an upgrade. Not only does this special guarantee to inflict weakening, but it also increases the magnifications of all of his attacks, letting him deal more damage. It also makes it toward his strong attack 1 has a chance to inflict freeze, and his strong attack 3 has a chance to inflict burn. Now he doesn't have debilitators, so they're not going to be frozen, burned, or weakened for that long, but using the special does immediately restore all of his strong attacks. And while the transformation only lasts for 30 seconds, once he reverts back, they get immediately restored again. So it's a pretty useful ability to have. Finally, this character is also completely immune to being paralyzed, which certainly comes in handy when autoing with him. Definitely wasn't necessary, but it's just icing on the cake. Thank you guys so much for watching and for voting, because without you this list wouldn't be possible. Sorry again it took me so long, what with the whole no power thing, but I appreciate the patience.